Welcome. Welcome to Celebrate Aging. I'm Vicki Marthaler, your hostess today here on Ecumen Detroit Lakes campus. And with me on the Ecumen Detroit Lakes campus is Don Busker. Don, you've been a good friend of Emmanuel for a long time. See, I know you said it's hard to say Ecumen Detroit Lakes after it's been Emmanuel for so long, but...
Yes. In the 60s, I remember it as Emmanuel.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we still have Emmanuel Nursing Home, but since we've added so many things on our campus, we needed a bigger name. So now we're Ecumen Detroit Lakes, and we're here in the cottage courtyard, and we're going to talk about something wonderful that is in this courtyard, and those are raised flower beds. And it seems to me, Don, you had something to do with that.
Yes, I think I did a little bit.
Would you tell us about those raised flower beds?
Well, we've had the privilege as Helping Hands to build several of these.
Okay.
And we drew up the plans, cut the materials, and assemble them in a shop, usually my shop, where we have cutting equipment, tools, and saws, and that sort of thing.
Sure.
And we as a group build them. And we then deliver them to the site and place them here.
Now I noticed that there's two different heights. This is the shorter ones, but it's perfect for, I've seen our residents who are in wheelchairs, it's just the right height for them to be working. And that they like not only the flowers, but they also grow some vegetables.
Yes, the latest ones, the last three that we built, they're 32 inches high. They're just a little bit higher than the previous ones and a little wider.
Okay.
And it's just great to see the residents using them. I occasionally will stop by, as I drive by, and they're so proud of them. They show me what they've done. Their flowers and my tomatoes. Would you like to taste my tomatoes? And I think it's a blessing, because it's an opportunity for them to be outside, to be in the sunlight, in the open air, and the fellowship. Yes. And also to be able to even produce something that you might eat yourself.
And they do, they do. And I know in the Madison courtyard, they have some raised ones, and they even grew rhubarb. You know, so we've had rhubarb.
You've got to show me that.
It's really good. And another thing, all the pluses you were listing, this has been a big part of many people's lives, is to have a garden and not to have to get down on your hands and knees, which, not many of us. I don't even like to get down on my hands and knees. It's hard to get up. So they can continue to do something that is part of who they are and what they do. And
well, I think this is just one of the many things that Emmanuel does to make the quality of life here better, and it's great. Well,
thank you, and I thank you for being a part of it. I suppose because the ones are a little bit higher, that people who are able to walk don't have to bend because it's at that height. So that is awesome. Good thinking.
Oh, Vicki, when I get some time, I'd like to make one for myself.
Well, you'll have to work that in. Now, you mentioned Helping Hands. And many of our people out in TV land, you've maybe heard of Helping Hands, or maybe you haven't. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Helping Hands is a group of mostly retirees that meets every Monday morning, except holidays, at the Holiday Inn. And what we do there is we have a breakfast, and then we discuss the different projects that come up. And whenever we have a project, we send two people out to review the project and see if it's something we can do. We want to help the sick, the elderly, and the disabled with minor tasks. We don't do electrical work or plumbing work, and we don't get up on roofs. And also, we don't want to take work away from the trades. So we do what we call minor repairs.
Now, that's for anyone in the community, not just people at Emmanuel, right?
Oh, anybody in the community.
This is a community-based group?
Yes.
How, if someone out in the community can you give me an example of what you would do?
Well, We do anything from changing light bulbs to, we've gone out to homes where there's a window broken or a door that needs, doesn't close properly, household repairs.
Okay.
And as far as you say the locale, usually within the vicinity of, maybe 5-10 miles. We've gone to Audubon, we've gone to other few places.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. So if someone had a little project that they wanted you to look at, how would they just call you, or who do they talk to?
Well, they could call anyone in Helping Hands, but usually they call Emmanuel.
Okay.
And then they relay the message to us, and then the churches too also know about us.
Oh, and the churches, okay.
And the different community people know about
organizations,
us. Yeah,
sure.
Organizations.
I think Bonnie Mose too kind of checks in with you.
Yes.
And she's kind of the champion of the Helping Hands here on the campus.
We're gracious to her for what the help she gives us.
She helps you too. Well, I also remember that when Helping Hands has been going for a couple of years, but it was kind of your brainchild, and it had to do with your mom. Your mom was getting up in age, and of course she had macular degeneration, so there were some things that just she couldn't do anymore, and she kind of waited for you, right? Yeah. Why don't you tell us that story?
Well, I went to see her each Sunday in Wadena, and one Sunday when I came there, I went to the bathroom, and there was no light in the bathroom.
Oh.
And I said, "Mother, how can you see?" And she said, "Well, I use a flashlight." And I said, "Well, you should get that fixed." "Well, I can't call an electrician for that. What am I to do?"
How do I?
And so anyway, as I was driving home that day, I said, there's probably a lot of individuals in our community and other communities could just use a little assistance, a little help, like changing light bulbs.
Like changing a light bulb.
And so I couldn't wait. I had to go and talk to our pastors. So I talked to our pastor and I said, "Do you think there's a need for this in our community?" And they said, "Yes." And so I talked to a group of fellows from our church, and yes, they were willing to help. And so we got together and started doing this sort of thing. And I also want to say that we invite anybody in the community to join us.
To join the Helping Hands.
Yes, it's anybody. It's mostly retirees because you meet on Monday morning. But the camaraderie is wonderful. I've met some just great fellows, and the friendship and the fellowship is really great.
Well, the great thing about Helping Hands is you put something into it, you get something out of it. I'm sure it blesses your heart to be able to make a difference in a life. I know it made a difference for your mom just to have someone change the light bulb. It is hard when you're not able to do those things that used to be what we'd call simple, and now they got all complicated. So
it's very rewarding.
Very rewarding.
It's such a pleasure to know that what you've done is going to make their life better, make their quality of life better, and to make them happy.
Hey, it makes them happy, makes us happy, makes everybody happy. It's a happy group. So this is Dawn Busker, and we invite you in the community to come and look at the raised flower beds. It's a wonderful, wonderful addition to our campus. It keeps our residents active and have a plan for the day, especially I guess we don't have flower boxes in the winter. We'll have to come up with something like that. But Dawn, thank you for what you do. We appreciate you and Helping Hands. And again, Dawn Busker, if you want to ask more about Helping Hands, or Bonnie Mose, just call Ecumen Detroit Lakes or Emmanuel, and we'll help you find who you need to talk to. So,
thank you for what you do, and I want to say we are really blessed to have the Emmanuel in our community.
Yes, we are. And we're celebrating aging, so have a great day celebrating.